Yo, what up? This is D Knight, and you're listening to the Pardon the Interaction podcast. My oh my, we've had so much going on. For starters, in case you missed it, we've got a new addition to the Par and Pie family, Tara Dublin. Make sure you go follow her on Twitter at Tara Dublin Rocks. Also, pick up a copy of her book while you're at it. Make her day, The Sound of Settling. A very fun and interesting read compared to the things we talk about on this podcast. But yeah, we're heading toward the do or die time for the 2024 election. Go ahead and hit up JoeBiden.com. Get that man like $1 a month or something. Help his campaign staff up and get prepared to try and save our democracy. And make sure to grab like one other person you know and tell them about the podcast. Make sure they subscribe and tune in every single week. We got a lot of things coming up for you this year. We need all the support that we can get. So if you do your part and help us grow our audience, we'll do our part and help elect Joe Biden in 2024 and save American democracy. And this is the Pardon the Interaction podcast. All right, back on topic. So yeah, the civil case, Trump got gagged today. He's also potentially, we haven't talked about this trial at all, have we? Because we've been so busy with other shit when we get together. So one of the potential outcomes for this trial, given that the judge has ordered the shuttering of all of Trump's businesses in New York and the fact that he might no longer be able to ever do business in New York, all of the properties owned by his New York entities are going to get liquidated. Now, he'll have the opportunity to maybe purchase some of those assets back if he has the cash. Key word there, if he has the cash.
Yeah.
Ty, you didn't hear a damn word that I was saying, was you?
I did not.
It's okay. I know you was busy being mom. That's totally fine. That's what. No, you being mom. That's far more important than this podcast. I'm glad you have your priorities in order. But no. So one potential outcome in this trial in New York is that because the judge has ordered Trump's businesses to be shuttered, and he's going to lose his licenses. And it might be possible that he'll no longer be able to do business in New York. All of his assets are going to be liquidated. All of the assets owned by any New York entities will be liquidated. And that includes his apartment at Trump Tower, his current home in Mar-a-Lago, and something else that's fairly interesting that not many people have talked about. But one of his companies also owns the rights to his name, image, and likeness.
I love that for him. So they're
someone's going to have the opportunity to purchase his name, image, and likeness.
I love that for him.
Yeah. Well, and if it's worth as much as he says it is, he's not going to be able to afford to buy it back.
But it's not.
Yeah, that's so funny. But yeah.
But that he literally challenged the evaluation of his property to make it less. He literally admitted to the fucking fraud that he's on trial for.
Yeah, Ty, that's why they say you have the right to remain silent, and anything that you say can be used against you in a court of law, even though it's a civil case. But yeah, so he's on record, on some forms, super overvaluing his properties, to get favorable business loans and insurance policies and whatnot, and then turning around and undervaluing them by a massive amount. To pay less in taxes. And then this motherfucker got the nerve to come out here on day one and say, everything I said my companies were worth, that's exactly what they were worth, if not more. And then got the nerve to turn the fuck around and immediately confess to the fact that he was like, yeah, sometimes you gotta fudge the numbers so you can pay less in tax. What a just total dude is crazy.
What he said in his deposition was, Saudis will bail me out. They'll pay whatever.
Yeah, man. And the judge was not happy with that. The judge, because again, his lawyer tried to make that argument, and the judge was like, so what you're saying is the Saudis are willing to basically put money in your pocket for political influence.
Yeah.
Judge wasn't happy with that. Carol, I appreciate you fluffing out your hair. You're looking absolutely
I
beautiful.
know you look gorgeous.
You're looking
Carol.
absolutely beautiful for an audio platform where no one
Even
can
with
see
your prison
Not
orange.
true. You guys could see me, and other people saw me today.
Even with the prison orange.
Yeah. And then Trump also made it a point to complain about the fact that Engoron himself will be overseeing the trial in a bench hearing, and Trump won't be getting a jury in this case.
That was funny. I liked that because the judge is funny and was like, "You didn't ask for a jury trial." I see what happened. What had happened was you did not ask for one.
Yeah. So in this case, it was on Trump's lawyers to actually.
So first, the prosecution says moves to waive the jury trial, and then the defense has to respond within, I think it was 14 days.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And they did, and Alina Habba didn't do that.
No.
So there's no jury because,
Nope.
but the judge was like, "You didn't ask for that," and it was funny because he's a fucking idiot, not the judge. I don't know about him.
Well, in this case, it's
Trump's
Alina.
fucking-
Yes, you nailed it. It was Alina Habba's fault. So I think I've said this a number of times. Trump's lawyers are so bad that, like, when he was uncharged, I'm like, we know he committed all these crimes. If you just charge him for something, like if you literally just charge him for anything, his lawyers are so stupid that they'll get him like 25 to life on a traffic ticket. Right. So now we have a case where the judge overseeing Trump's trial has already ruled that, like, he's liable for the fucking criminal activity. And now, because his lawyers were too stupid to fill out the paperwork requesting a trial by jury, now the trial is going to be overseen by the dude who's like, "Dude, you've been fucking up. We're about to take all your shit." So ace job there. Alina Habba is going to cost him his entire fortune, however little it's worth.
I mean, that bitch has already been fucking fined like what, $1 million for frivolous lawsuit against Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not doing a great job.
She
Do you think she's making more money grifting, like grievance grifting, based on?
that bitch is not making any motherfucking money because he does not pay his lawyers. Well,
No, but
except
her
for his
grift, but
side,
she
'cause
has
he done
the
his shit
side
up
grift.
front.
She goes on Fox News. No, not even Fox News, like OAN and
Newsmax.
She is
Yeah,
doing.
she's got a very profitable Newsmax.
Yeah, she's
Because
doing
she's like,
like the clout and nothing fucking else.
That's
Because
not true. This is what really happened, and I'm a lawyer. And then she just lies, and then like she's like, "But it's so sad because my client doesn't pay me, so donate money."
yeah, but I got to find this crazy shit and whatever. No, yeah, that bitch is the dumbest fucking cunt. That
Now you say, "Hey, we don't use that word around here unless we're
No, we
talking
do.
about serving it."
No, we do. We use that word.
If you're not serving cunt, then we don't use that word. Or if you're not eating or serving it, we don't use those words. No, in defense of Alina Habba, she's never cost that parking garage company that she used to represent billions of dollars. Well, yes, clearly Trump is getting every dollar of representation that he's paid for in this. I guess another thing to talk about, obviously,
I
is
mean, I like old men, but that motherfucker is disgusting. Like, I can't even imagine like how she manages to, because I know they're sleeping together, but
sleeping is probably overstating it.
okay, yeah, you're right. But
she's probably Lauren
they're doing
Boeberding.
the sidewinder, whatever.
No, you know what? Like, she's probably just like rubbing it or something, like at Beetlejuice. And you know,
are we still talking about Melanie?
Is Melanie even alive?
No, we talking about,
is Melania even alive?
we talking about.
No, yeah. Look,
Talking about Alina. Okay.
yeah.
younger Melania.
That's fucked
too.
up.
What?
Speaking of Melania, it appears as though Trump had her body double at court today because there was.
Somebody said like, is that the
clone
Melanie?
Yeah.
Melania?
It did not. Yeah, it had to have been like. There's always someone who looks like Melania around who's not Melania. Where is Melania? Like,
I heard they renegotiated the
their prenup agreement.
Prenup.
Yeah, they did so. But she is like Carmen Sandiego. We like, where in the world is this bitch? Where is she? I ain't seen her in forever. Have you?
She hasn't been by her motherfucking husband. Like, she hasn't been like, showing the court, showing support.
I mean, imagine if Biden was dealing with some crazy shit like this and then Jill was nowhere to be found. It would be like media hysteria surrounding that. But I mean, just whatever. I don't understand who makes the rules about what is and isn't covered when it like pertains to Trump. Like, they cover the stupidest shit and ignore like the most important and insane aspects of the things he says and does. But okay, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so obviously one of the issues Trump is probably facing is that he took out all these loans on these properties, but the loans were probably for more money than the shit was actually worth. So dude is probably underwater by hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So when they liquidate all his shit and they pay off his loans, and then he has to pay that $250 million minimum fine in New York, like, will he have any money left?
That motherfucker doesn't have money now.
No, I'm not saying he has money, but what I'm saying is when they liquidate anything, the total proceeds from that, will that even be enough to pay off the loans and the fine before he even gets a penny? Like,
hell no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They might sell all his shit and then he not have $1.
There's like a long list of debtors waiting, right?
Yes, yes.
Not debtors. The other one.
Yeah, lenders. Finance is hard. Lenders, debtors.
Yes.
The total opposites. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Holding them. Well, that's what I'm saying with like Deutsche Bank and like these other companies, these other financial institutions where he took all these massive loans out while he was in office, and once he left the White House, like once he has to pay that shit back after they sold off all his shit, like he's going to be the last person to be paid from the liquidation of his assets that are controlled by the New York entities. Will he even get $1 is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So he's going to be homeless is what you're saying.
I just want that fucking gold thing.
Well, look, that's what we're trying to do with this podcast. We're trying to tell people about all this crazy shit. So they're like, oh, that is fucking crazy. I'm voting for the other guy. And then he'll go away to prison.
And then Trump is going to have to cross over the border into Mexico and hope that they will grant him asylum because he just can't afford to live here.
No, he's going to defect to Russia, and then Putin's going to go make him fight in Ukraine.
Yeah, probably.
I believe that.
You believe that?
That would be fucking poetic justice.
Or he immediately overplays his hand and tries to somehow overtake Putin, and then is immediately killed.
Well, I mean, someone else tried that in Russia just a couple of months ago, and they didn't immediately die. It took a couple months.
But oh my God, I was just reading, it was like, I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks ago, that a fucking plane with Wagner people fucking went down.
Another one?
Yeah. But because it wasn't like anybody that people knew, like Prigozhin, so it wasn't, I guess it didn't get, a lot of new, yeah. But
it wasn't like people from his immediate circle.
Yeah. So, and not somebody that people knew, so it didn't make like national news, but
Yeah, well, who knows? Like, maybe it was his fucking rat holes where he had his money buried and they got taken out too. You never know. But, you know, since you brought that up, it is very interesting that his son said to take over Wagner Group here in the coming weeks. Prigozhin's son. It's about to become yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, some crazy shit. Maybe we'll get the chance to talk about that on the next episode. But yeah, anyway.
Has he kissed the ring? Something me? What's the deal here? Or is he gonna fall out a window onto some polonium?
Well, he's gonna fall out of a window and land in some polonium tea. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure he's going to bend the knee to Putin, or else, like you said, he'll be spending the rest of eternity with his father soon. All right, so either of you have any nominations for the Shithole of the Week award?
I do not. You
can't even like think of like one potential.
I mean, haven't we done all of the guys we've talked about today like many times?
There's other options. There's plenty of fucking.
Have we done Matt Gaetz recently?
No, we haven't.
I don't think we can do Matt Gaetz. We're
too old.
Yes, we're old enough to drive. So
he is the fucking worst.
We could do that. We could do that guy from the impeachment hearing last week, where he couldn't say oligarch. He kept calling it ugly oligarch.
How about
I guess we're going to put him up there with, Comer's
an option. No, I was going to nominate
Jim fucking Jordan.
You know what? I'm kind of happy with Republicans right now. They're busy stabbing each other in the back and just like putting on a show for the entirety of America to laugh at. I was going to go with Sarah Huckabee Sanders for somehow buying a podium into a national scandal that might cost her her job.
That.
Yeah,
I forgot about. Yeah.
So like somehow you managed to buy a podium that wasn't made in Arkansas for tens of thousands of dollars and then go to criminal lengths to try and cover that up. That was insane. And you know,
this is like a bad movie where the kind where the plot is always driven by like one lie that you didn't need to tell that fucks everything up for you. And the moral is always tell the truth. Especially in a romantic, if you think it's like a meet cute situation and you think about like giving a fake name, just don't.
I mean, you know, I don't know if it's even always tell the truth. I just tell better lies. Tell better lies than this. This is insane. Like it just absolutely bananas. And now you're getting
lies are even weak. Like that is the fucking craziest shit. Like they are the weakest and.
Or just don't tell stupid, pointless lies.
Or don't alter documents. Like if you're at the point where like you're getting subpoenaed for documents, then maybe you should just be like, all right, the game's up. You got me. I don't know. But yes, now she might potentially lose her fucking job like Kevin McCarthy as the governor of Arkansas. Yeah, I don't even know how did she get to become the governor of Arkansas, and like how do you win that election? And did she think she was gonna like pull the Bill Clinton and run for office, like for president one day? I don't know. But yeah, and again, if you're listening to this and you're like, it's a stupid fucking podium. How does someone win the Shithole of the Week award for that? well, there's also like the part where she passed the legislation to turn kids into slaves. So child slavery is also not great. True. So with that said, I hereby award you, Sarah Fuckery Sanders, with the Shithole of the Week award. Congratulations, you stupid dipshit.
Well deserved and earned.
Yeah. All right, kids. Before we get to our closing thoughts, I got Terrell, you can absolutely tune out here. Well, you might want to listen. I don't know. I've got a sports ball minute of the week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
There you go, sport. Enthusiasm.
Yeah, fun time. So Aaron Rodgers, of noted fame for his quarterbacking of the Green Bay Packers, who ended up being traded to the New York Jets this year, who proceeded to throw one incomplete pass before tanking the entirety of the Jets season on 9/11. He actually 9/11 the Jet season on 9/11. That was fantastic. He was making some comments about the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce, after their game against the Jets, where he was noting, Kelce's lackluster production in the game and in what seemed to be some, some means of slighting Kelce. He referred to him as Mr. Pfizer, because Travis Kelce's done a commercial about the Pfizer vaccine. And of course, Aaron Rodgers, notably unvaccinated, who as it appears, lied to the league and the public about his vaccine status earlier in the pandemic. I would just like to say, Mr. Rodgers, sir, Travis Kelce has twice the Super Bowl rings that you do, and he's actually playing this year. Maybe you should have got your ass vaccinated. All right, that concludes the sports ball minute of the week. Closing
but at
thoughts.
least tomorrow he's not gonna have 5G break his brain and turn him into
a zombie,
microbot zombie,
from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and if you're all the unvaccinated people who survived the apocalypse and we didn't, enjoy your life with your.
Well, I got my booster shot this weekend. That's like my 5th COVID shot since the
I gotta get that.
development of the vaccines. If I turn into a zombie tomorrow, tune in to the podcast next week. I'll tell you all about it.
I tell you all about how brains taste and how we're coming for you next to eat your brains.
Brains.
Man's got to eat.
I recommend getting a brain slug.
Well, I won't be coming for Kevin McCarthy in that case.
Yeah, they're all
because he doesn't have a brain.
Sidebar: that show Brain Dead was awesome on Amazon. They only had 1 season though. But let's breeze past that.
Yeah,
my closing thoughts are about
Dead.
Matt Gaetz being a fucking idiot and how he's. Again, I'm going to use the term overplayed his hand because it seems like now he's on course to just even the fact that there's rumors buzzing about his possible expulsion. It's just music to my ears. He's just going to be replaced by like another Republican shit, but I guess they want to just find a more innocuous one. Do we want to cheer to keep Matt Gaetz on so that they can't quietly put someone just as bad, but not as loud?
No, I want that fucker gone.
Yeah.
I want that fucker gone.
So we'll see how that goes.
And that's the chef's kiss. And he put out there to have McCarthy ousted. So him also getting fucking drug out of the house it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Fingers crossed. All right, Ty, your closing thoughts, go.
Vote. I was so what I was reading Judd Lagoon's talking about what's going on in North Carolina. I mean, that's my home state and it breaks my fucking heart. What they're doing.
Well, tell us all about it.
That they are making their legislation a secret fucking police force to take what do you call it? Taking whatever
what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, the government's aiming to institute
yes.
I mean, it is basically a secret police organization that responds to his command that will end up investigating his political opponents and anyone that he deems a threat to him politically. So anyone that gets remotely close to having government contracts or whatnot can be investigated and have documents seized and devices searched with no warrants whatsoever at his beck and call based on, absolutely, no probable cause. There's a lot going on in South Carolina, kids. Read up on that. Been saying shit. He's literally taking the slogan, make America Florida
South
and
Carolina. Is that what you said?
No,
North Carolina.
Oh, okay. South Carolina would make more
and
sense.
and North Carolina has always been like we've had, Dems, Republicans, whatever, governors, but it has always been, fair. But now it's a completely different thing, and it is so disappointing to me. Like,
side note, I said the governor, and what I meant was the state legislature in North Carolina because the governor is a Democrat. But anyway, continue. Sorry. Go Ty.
But they've overruled like whatever he's vetoed or, or whatever. But Trisha Cotham, she fucked North Carolina.
All of them?
But what's something that Trisha Cotham.
Sorry, I was just thinking she fucked all of North Carolina, and I was like, she's a busy lady.
But she gave them the super majority. But she was a Dem all of her life.
Yeah,
and
she was a Dem, got elected, and then immediately flipped to the Republican Party.
So
some
were
fuckery. Someone check her bank account.
She's been a long-time Democrat. And okay, and even if you flip, okay, whatever. But you are now, whatever the ideologies and everything that you held or stood up for, you throw that out too? No, like that makes no fucking sense to me. It makes no fucking sense to me. I hate to see what is going on in my home state. Like, really, like it's so gross. And I don't know what the fuck. It's like they, like what you said, like check the bank accounts. Like I really need to know. Because even if you did flip, because I don't know, she was saying that, oh, she was bullied by Democrats, whatever. Okay, but every damn issue that you were for before, you threw that out also with.
Yeah, it's not just that she's caucusing with the Republicans. She's like the deciding vote in enabling the most insane bananas legislation that they're trying to pass in the state legislature, like overruling the governor's vetoes and everything. Is wild. Like, when I say check her fucking bank accounts, I mean like we literally just had a senator arrested for like stashing gold bars and like hundreds of thousands of dollars at home that he received for, straight up bribes. Like someone just walk around her house just in case there's like a fucking gold bar lying around. Cause it's absolutely wild. Like
this was here when I moved in. You can't prove that it wasn't.
Okay.
But I can't, but I feel like I know that I'm concerned with the dark money and the operatives because I think that's their thing now. They are targeting Dems who are vulnerable and fucking
in pivotal seats in pivotal states.
Yeah. Like that's what they're doing now. Like between now and 2024. And when I was at Russell's, I used to, but when I was at Russell's,
a little louder. They probably didn't hear you, Ty.
But when I was at Russell's yesterday,
no, not that part.
He started like going in on
where you used to be a Republican.
But he started going in on POTUS. And they go, why do you hate him so much? Give me something that makes sense. And he couldn't. He goes, why do you love him so much? I go, I could tell you right now, but you're not going to fucking listen. Like, you're not going to fucking listen.
Well, did you tell him like he actually passed legislation that's helpful?
Yeah, I tried. And then he's
did
like,
you tell him about all the like big pharmaceutical companies that just signed on to negotiate lower prices for Medicare recipients?
I'm like, you're a fucking Syrian. And you have told me that your dad was eating banana peels off of the fucking ground in Juarez because they wouldn't let certain immigrants come across the bridge. So how can you sit here and like say the things that you're saying? You know, Russell, I'm like, Russell, you told me also that when you were at SMU in Dallas, when he was going to law school, the reason he came back because he was like, oh, I'm going to leave El Paso. I don't want to be here. I go, the reason you came back because it was so incredibly racist against you that you couldn't. And then now you're like spouting the same shit that was done against you. I'm like, yeah, you're wealthy, but you're wealthy because of this, or whatever. And drives me fucking.
Yeah, the Republican propaganda, sadly, unfortunately, once you get money, it works. As for my closing thoughts, so just bear with me for a second. I live in Tennessee, so there's this woman here who, you know, became semi-noteworthy because she was seeking an abortion here in Tennessee. She'd gotten pregnant and found out her fetus had a couple of serious abnormalities, and she had made the decision to terminate the pregnancy, but she couldn't because, of course, Tennessee, we live in like Florida. It's Florida light. It's Florida without the fucking ocean and with no Disney. But Disney, if you want to come here, we're open to negotiations. Anyway, so she couldn't get the treatment she needed here in the state, had to leave the state. Total fucking disaster. It was her second child, of course. And she was heartbroken and devastated by this. And, you know, she decided to announce her run for office here in the state, you know, which is quite heartwarming that, you know, someone's taking their personal experience, as traumatizing as it must be, and use that as motivation to try and run for office and make some change and create a better situation for constituents here in my state. Also, Gloria Johnson, if you're not familiar with her, she's one of the Tennessee Three who was basically the Republican-led state legislature here tried to have her ousted for her role in protesting against the fact that Republicans here won't do anything about gun violence, even though, you know, the state's had some notable instances of horrific mass shootings, including the one at the school here earlier this year. She rose to some noteworthy acclaim after that incident, and she announced her run for the office of Senate in 2024, looking to unseat Marsha Blackburn. And I just bring these two individuals up, not just because they're close to home, but just because you can look at these two women and the situations that they were in and the experiences they've had, and they've taken those as some motivation to try and go on and do bigger things and actually make a difference in what ways that they can. And I just want you all listening to this podcast to look for any experiences you've had or any situations that you've been in that you can draw on and use as motivation to go out there and try and make a difference in the ways that you can. And that concludes this episode of Part of the Insurrection.